Well, hello, my investor friends. This is Ken Renner, real estate broker in North Austin, one of the top investor brokers in the entire city, in fact, in the Central Texas region. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video that I'm making of my target markets, target properties, target areas, and giving you an explanation why these particular areas are where I think that you should consider investing. And so let's take a quick look here at the Austin Central Texas market. What we have here is we are in the middle of Central Texas, cornered by San Antonio, Fort Worth, Dallas, and Houston. Of course, we know what's happened to Houston, and that was unfortunate, but they've lost 30 to 40,000 homes. And I have not put any investors in the Houston market. Fortunately, I don't know of anybody personally that has been affected as far as losing their house, but that was pretty bad. The thing is about Austin, as far as the hurricanes are concerned, we are too far inland. We're several hundred miles inland, so we don't get affected by the hurricanes other than a bunch of rain. So we're not going to have that issue of being wiped out. San Antonio is a great city. It's a place where we go vacation at some of the resorts down there. It's more of a blue-collar city, and it's not the city that I focus on, though we do focus on about anywhere from northeast San Antonio and northwest San Antonio. So it's quite a few properties in this area on through the San Marcos, New Braunfels corridor. Moving north, I work the Georgetown, Belton, Temple, Killeen, and Waco market. And so this is my target area for helping investors, and it's been very, very fruitful. And we're going to dive into Austin today, just so that you can, we've had several people inquiring, where would you invest if you're going to invest in Austin? Dallas-Fort Worth is really not my area up here. It's a good market. It's a different market, and it's much more sprawling and more diversified as far as the different types of demographics there. Austin, Texas is pretty much a high-tech and government-driven, government and education and high-tech. That's what we're here. Venture capital. It's the fastest growing cities in the nation, ranked by U.S. and News World Report in February as the nicest place in America to live. So always on the top of the list of the best places to live and invest, and the news has gotten out, and that's the bottom line, is that we've had a ton of people moving here. I moved here in 1993 when it was a quiet, sleepy little town, and now almost, over 20 years later, it's become quite a metropolis. When I moved here, it was the 20th largest city in the nation. Now it's the 10th largest city in the nation. So the word's gotten out, and that's good for a lot of things, and it's not so good for stuff like traffic, affordability, and things like that. So in regards to the city, I've sold over 700 investment properties in the last 10 years. Like I said, one of the top real estate companies in the area for investors. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to throw the dart. If I was somebody who was looking to invest, like myself, I'm an investor, these are the areas that I'd be looking at. But I'm also going to give you some reasons why you may not want to invest in these same areas for demographic reasons. So let's take a look a little bit about the city of Austin and where the city lies. I-35 is the lifeline that runs through north-south through Austin. It actually goes all the way through across the entire nation, through Dallas and on up through the middle of the nation. And it is a now heavily congested traffic nightmare, and but that's just because of our growth. We have Mopac on the west, and then we have the new toll road. It's not that new anymore. It's about 10 years old, but the toll road out called 130, 290, and 45 has given this a much more an alternative to getting away from I-35. Anything to the west of Austin is high dollar California price property. It's very expensive out this way. Million-dollar, multi-million-dollar homes. So this is not our area for investment. We're looking for affordable housing where our renters can pay our rent for what we want and have a decent lifestyle, and hopefully with good schools and good infrastructure. So that's what we're looking for. Now, looking at the type of properties that we normally focus on are new or newer, or something built within the last 10 years to keep the maintenance costs down. And we're also looking at really some new construction is great because there's new builders moving into town to try to pick up the slack. But we're trying to stay under the $220,000 price point, and typical sale type of home under 220 is a newer home for anywhere from 1,400 to 2,000 square foot, 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and rents anywhere from $1,595 to $1,795. So the numbers are still pretty good. The Austin area is forecast by Mark Sprague of the Independence Title. He's the chief economist, to go up in anything under the median price, which right now is $300, is forecast to go up 27% over the next 2 years. So we still have a good appreciation rate, but our cash flow is kind of diminished because the values are higher, therefore the property taxes are higher, and the rents haven't caught up with the increase in values. The rents are forecast to go up 19% over the next 3 years. So both things are going up. Values are going up and rents are going up. So that's encouraging for our investors. So looking at the areas that we want to invest in, I'm looking at the homes where we've sold a ton of properties, which is out east of Austin, and it's only 12 minutes or 12 miles into downtown Austin. It's also this area, Hornsby Bend, which is Austin's Colony and a couple other subdivisions, is only a few minutes to the Austin Bergstrom Airport. This is kind of the direction where the city wants the growth to go, and here's why. To the west of Austin is environmentally sensitive land. Out here to the east of Austin is farmland. And so as the farmers give up their land and we turn it into developments, we're not dealing with the sensitivities of endangered species and all that kind of stuff. So this area right here, this southeast quadrant near the airport and near downtown is going to be the path of development. And so we try to get in the path of development. The good news is it's very close to downtown. The not so good news is I'm not too impressed with the schools. People living out here are maybe not really that worried about the schools because they work downtown, they're single, or they're just okay with being able to be in a great area for a little bit of money, or they homeschool. So that's the kind of thing, the dynamic that's going on the east side of Austin out here off of the toll road 130. So there's a community right here. You can see this been kind of churned up by the Google map, and that is RSI Communities, which is a new builder to Austin. It's from California, or they're from California, and they build homes. Let's take a look. If bring up RSI. This is called Prado, and Prado has homes starting as low as $204,000 for 1,662 square feet, brand new. Now, keep in mind, the builders all will, most of, if not all, will limit their sales to investors because they can't build them fast enough as it is. But we as investors want to go in and buy these houses so we can give affordable rents to those that want to live close to town that can't buy or don't want to buy yet. So I've had a conversation with upper management on the neighborhood. They will sell usually 10% of their homes to investors. And some neighborhoods, in fact with the biggest builder in town, D.R. Horton, many of the neighborhoods, they've cut off investors completely. So what we do is we don't stop with what the builders will let us do. We will go into the same area nearby if we like the area, and we will buy resale homes. So you can't stop us from buying resale homes. The only problem I don't like about this area, even though it's got a great location near the airport, close to downtown, if I take you out a little bit, Prado, quick into downtown. Got to be careful about this. This is the Austin water treatment plant. So being it this close, you're going to get some odors from the water treatment plant. Second thing I don't like is I don't like their elementary school. As far as the rating, its rating's a 2. But the good news is I think they're going to change the elementary school to be this school here, which is Gilbert Elementary School, which is a 6. So going back out to give you the perspective, go back to the map. We are looking at homes starting in brand new with RSI in this area here in Hornsby Glen for $200,000 for a 1,600 square foot house. Good deal. Second thing, we are, if D.R. Horton will allow us to buy, based on how many investor sales they have, is Tiarmo. Tiarmo is this area right in here. Tiarmo is going to be eventually, I think, 700 homes. The walking distance to Gilbert Elementary, which is the elementary of choice in this area. Hornsby Dunlap Elementary, that services Austin's Colony, is rated a 2. I'm not too excited about sending my tenants' kids to a 2, but that's what it is. Gilbert Elementary is rated a 6. And we keep an eye on that, and that's why you have me as your real estate expert. Most realtors, and even the people at RSI Communities, because it's a new development, didn't even know the stuff that I'm telling you now. So it's important that you have somebody that really has been on boots on the ground for over 25 years here, and I'm giving you explanations of why I'm bullish about certain areas and not so bullish about other areas. But this is the path of development. If you want to be within 15 minutes of downtown, this is where you should be, and something under 200,000 brand new. Moving north on the 130 corridor is another booming area called Manor. It's kind of a backward part of town or part of the metro for a long period of time, just because this area was really kind of a low demographic, kind of backward area. But all this area out to the east is booming. It's all new and newer stuff. So it's all just like any other suburb. Shadow Glen's a golf course community. Stonewater's a D.R. Horton community. Presidential Meadows has KB and a couple other builders in there. And Bell Farms is Pacesetter Homes. These areas are really good. They're just like your typical suburbs with deed restrictions and what have you. And it's such a short commute into Austin because the 290 now is a toll road, which means there's no stopping. There's no stoplights, and you're into downtown Austin very quickly. So this is an area of fast growth, great place to be. Homes still under 220 that you can get. If you can get them, because they do cut off investor sales. So schools aren't the best. Manor High School is rated low, but Manor New Tech right here is a pretty exciting technology high school, which if anybody's want to go into programming or IT, they want to go here. This was rated 8 recently on the 8 out of 10. I think they dropped a little bit. But even President Obama visited this school as when he was on it during his presidency, and was very impressed and spoke here regarding this is where the future lies. If you want to be in a high school and you want to learn about technology, this is where you want to go. So that's pretty exciting. And then there's a huge distribution center that just got put in here. Capital Right, and also in Manor is new infrastructure. You've got all the typicals, Walmart, Whataburger, all these different infrastructure where they didn't have it before because it was kind of backward. And then you got the Shadow Glen golf course. So we also move north on the 130 corridor into our areas that I've been working for so many years, because this has been where people want to live. Great infrastructure. It's North Austin, Round Rock, and Pflugerville. Those are our suburbs. let me take you out of the satellite mode, and you can see. So this is your I-35 corridor. We also have the MOPAC corridor, and you have the 183 corridor. Major intersection here with Lakeland Mall at 45 and 183. Major intersection here at I-35 and 45, which is the corner where Dell main headquarters is. 2 million square feet of Dell. You have Emerson. Pulling back out here, you also have over here is where Apple Computers has their main campus for Austin. So it's all these employers are 10, 15 minutes from anybody living in this corridor. Let's see, where is that? Here it is. This is the main Apple complex with over 4,000 employees. Oracle's here. I'm sure you recognize these names. But also across the way, you have eBay, PayPal, a lot of the companies from San Jose are in this area here. So this is where people relocate to, and that's what they're doing. So being this North Austin area, they're big on education, obviously, people that are moving here because they were highly educated, and that's what got them here. So we're looking at it's important to have good schools in these areas. Going northwest here, if I take this back out, these areas up here from North Austin to Cedar Park are really getting priced out as far as rentals concerned. In other words, the prices are too high for the rents you're going to get unless you're looking for super high quality and you're not worried about positive cash flow even with 25% down. So this is where people want to live. In fact, that little dot is where I live, right outside of Avery Ranch in a little neighborhood called Oak Brook. But my house is worth $500,000 and I couldn't rent it for more than maybe $2,500, $2,600. Those numbers really don't make sense for an investor when you can go out just a few miles and get a positive cash flow with 20% down, and that's what we focus on. In the Austin Avery Ranch area here, I sold several hundred homes in this area when the prices were low. When they first opened up, the homes in this area, in this golf course community, were $130,000 starting. Now they're starting $300,000, and that's 15 years of price appreciation growth plus the community built out. So not really bullish on investment property here. I just sold a $430,000 house yesterday in this area, but that's going to be for people who live here. So we've got to move to areas that are attractive for us as investors, that have potential for long-term growth and security in case the market turns and the market goes down, and we can at least rent our properties for the payment that we have on it. So this is where we're targeting, and you're going to see this if you come out and do a tour with me. This is what the areas you're going to be looking at. So moving to just a few miles to the east is a area called Hutto and East Austin, and I'm going to dial you into this area here, because what we have is we have the 130 corridor and we have the 79 freeway going east and west. So you have good access right here. This is a big deal for this area, was the HEB Plus. This HEB Plus is a huge grocery store complex, and it really put this whole Hutto area, gave it some infrastructure, because it really didn't have a grocery store that was right, that Hutto could call its own. And it's right here next to the Star Ranch Golf Course and the Forest Creek Golf Course. And there's also, not far away, is the Fairways of Blackhawk. So you've got some great entertainment as far as golf courses are concerned. And then you also, just south of the freeway, have this is called the Stone Hill complex, and it's a huge huge center with all the typical Targets and sporting goods and Best Buy and all the stuff you'd expect from a mega center. Also, it's been announced recently, this area that's being churned up here is the new Costco. So there's going to be a huge Costco at this corner, and so this intersection of 130 and 45 is going to be really just a regional center. So looking at that, being only a few miles away from our target area over here, which is called Hutto, I'm really impressed and excited that the school ratings have been so good. We have 7, 8s, and 9s on our Fardley Middle School. I think I just checked; it was an 8, and Ray was a 9. And one of my assistants, Sue Barnes, lives in this area called Glenwood, and I sold a whole bunch of homes in here to investors as well as owner occupants. But the Glenwood property here actually is the home within walking distance of these highly rated schools, and Greenbelt, beautiful property, and also in an area that's got good availability to commute. You have your north-south corridor and your east-west corridor. So this is a big area, and I'll tell you why this is so, this area being affordable as opposed to just over here. These homes are all starting in 3s and 5s, 300s to 500s. But this is the big deal. Right here, this big patch of brown soil here is called Kalahari. And Kalahari is already broken ground. It's already starting. And Kalahari is a water park and convention center, which will change the Round Rock area into a destination resort. So I'm looking forward to this because I do presentations, and I'd love to have people come to my presentations here at this convention center. 900 rooms, and kind of poked through the website. I didn't spend a lot of time poking through it before this presentation, but this is what it is. It's the largest indoor water park. Once again, 900 rooms and a convention center. So this will be a destination resort. And this is going to be scheduled to open in 2 years, 3 years, 2020, 2019, 2020. And it will change the whole scene for the east side of Round Rock. But when you have 900 rooms, a convention center, where are the employees going to live? That's why I'm very excited about new infrastructure coming in. There's going to be high demand. And so even if you buy resale in this area or new, there's a couple of subdivisions we will be sharing with you if you come out, or if you just want to see it. This area called Sienna is 1,600 homes. They can buy a home brand new, starting about 1,500 square foot, just starting at $200,000. With the infrastructure that's coming in with Kalahari and everything that goes on around it. Remember, if you build a convention center, just think about all the other things that go on. You have a AAA baseball stadium here with Dell Diamond, which is already a major attraction. You're already seeing restaurants popping up, and then you have one of the largest regional parks right here. So this whole area is going to be I'm really bullish on this area because you can still buy homes for under $200,000. Anything over to the west of here just gets more expensive. Bottom line is that if you lived out here and you go to the toll road, that's an 80-mile-an-hour toll road, and you go and you work at Apple, you could be there in 15 minutes. If you want to get to the airport down the toll road, 130, it's 1/2 hour. The toll road's 80 to 85 miles an hour. So you can be from up here to down here in 1/2 hour because there's no lights, there's no stops. So I'm very bullish on the Hutto area, and I would encourage you to consider this area if you're considering the Austin Metro as a place to invest your money. Okay, now going up to other areas that are similar to that as we move north. Cedar Park is been rated as one of the best cities in the nation of its size. It's awesome. I live right next to it, but it's almost sold out. In other words, there's really no new construction. All the homes are pretty much 300,000 or above, which doesn't really play into most of our investors' numbers. So we kind of take out the satellite here. So you can go up here. But where is the path of development going to go? It's going to go to the town just north called Leander. And so what we have here is we have another toll road called 183A, which once again doesn't have any stoplights. It's a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit, so it really can bring us, it's a very easy commute, number one. Number two, you also have a commuter rail train that goes from Leander, this is the northern stop, all the way to downtown. So you can get on the commuter train, which is why the parking lot's so big, and you can be in downtown Austin in 40 minutes. And people ride the train from up here to go to downtown Austin, don't have to fight traffic, and it's got Wi-Fi so people can work on their laptops and take a nice leisurely ride all the way down into the Austin area. Of course, it's right across from a huge H-E-B plus shopping center. So this area is a commuter area, and prices are going up and continuing to go up, but we can get homes in this area brand new for the low 200,000s, if not, well, not under 200, but pretty much 200. So some of the areas that are being infilled here that we are once again bullish on is, let's see, this area in here is the D.R. Horton community of Connolly's Crossing. This whole area, which Google Map doesn't show, this whole section is mostly built out right now, and they're going to be building more sections, but there is a home starting in the low 200,000s right in here, brand new. Moving out across the way, RSI Communities took this chunk of land, I'm pretty sure. This is the chunk of land. I was in there. Just want to make sure it was the right area, but it's still the same corridor. This area is also homes, 1,500 square foot, starting in the 220s, 210s. But the good news is the schools here are rated 8s and 9s by the Great School website. So this is really a very nice suburb, lots of infrastructure. Of course, you've got your McDonald's, Kohl's, and what have you, but this area over here, not far, which I'm surprised they don't have it on here. Let's see. This area right in here is all brand new shopping centers. There's a Whole Foods in here. It's all totally built up. Plus this area, Target, 1890. So you're 10 minutes from all this infrastructure. So this is the Leander new homes or newer homes. I'm bullish on this area. Once again, anything to the west of here gets really expensive. Just listed a $500,000 house in Crystal Falls. So you've got a lot of people living. The rental properties to be selling here are lower priced homes next to very expensive homes, and that's a good place to be. So in this whirlwind view of what I just showed you, let me just go ahead and review what we're looking at. Where our areas we're throwing the darts are homes that hopefully are under 220, maybe even under 200,000, that are in areas where people want to live, new or newer, and it'd be either in this quadrant here, this quadrant here in the Hornsby Bend area, which is just a few minutes from downtown. This area here in Manor, which is once again just 20 minutes downtown. This area up here in Hutto, highly rated schools and near the Kalahari Resort. And then of course over here, which is the Leander area and not far from the commuter train plus the great infrastructure at 45 and 183, plus the this 1890 mall here as well. Costco, everything's right in here. So that's my picks, and I hope that this has been helpful to give you the 10,000 foot view of where we're at, plus also some deep dives into some of the areas that we're really bullish on that we're selling homes right now. So thanks again for taking your time to watch this video. I appreciate your time once again, and you can call me at 512-423-5626. That's my cell phone. Be more than happy to talk to you about this. All right, thanks a lot, and I will see you on the next video.